Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it's dark. See there? Yes, I'm up. I got up this morning. I hate to say it, but I got up at 2:30. I went to bed too early. Way too early. And this what I'm fixing this morning is just the same old, same old. And I'm sorry, but I do not have time today to do something else. I'm cooking for a group, so I don't have time to play on those days. So I'm fixing to fix their gravy. And I've had a lot of you to say, I still don't know how to make gravy. Well, I'm fixing to show you. Please listen this time. Here's my grits on. Hadn't turned them on yet, though. Stir them up a little bit so in case they went to the bottom. Because grits stick easy. All right, so here I've got a big old skillet. I've got it turned on high right now. I am going to take some grease. Now, here's what you've got to do. You've got to have grease. You have bacon grease, fatback grease, sausage grease, but you got to have some grease to make gravy. You can make a butter salts to go over potatoes and stuff, but that doesn't use grease. That uses butter. But we're not worried with that today. We're worried with just regular gravy to go on a biscuit. Today, I happen to have bacon grease. That's bacon grease. Those are little pieces of bacon in it. So this is about a tablespoon. So I'm going to put that tablespoon in there and one more. That's all I'm going to put. 2 tablespoons of grease. There you go. Now then, we're going to put in some flour. And we're going to make a roux. Okay? Now, in your roux, you've got to have the grease and the flour. And so I'm going to take this spoon right here because it's the same size. And I'm going to get us some flour over here. Some white lily out of this doohickey I got. Do y'all ever say that? Because you can't think of the name of it. All right, so I'm going to go over here to my flour. And I'm going to get some flour and put it in this bowl. I don't know how much I'm getting because we're fixed to measure. But not like this second. All right, I just got a bunch of flour. This is your all-purpose white lily. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to put our flour in our grease. And I'm going to get you right down in it, like that. Okay. Let's stir these grits down. Let's start with 3 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna do that around. So we got 2 of grease and 3 of flour. You got little knots in it. You want to make sure you just bash those up in here. And you look at your consistency. That's kind of watery looking. I think I'll put 1 more, but not too big. So this will make, let's say 3.5, okay? There's the half. Okay, let's put that in there. I think that's going to be a plenty. All right, now you're going to stir it, and you're going to absolutely, you're going to stand here and stir it because it will burn. See how it's sticking to the bottom? You could turn it on medium low if you wanted to. Let me check my, okay, now then. Now what we're going to do, and we'll turn it down just a little bit so y'all can understand. We are making, this is called a roux. You can make roux for all different kinds of things. In Louisiana, they make a lot of roux because they make a lot of gumbo and stuff. And they have to have a roux. That's your thickening agent. And all it is flour and grease. All right, when it gets as brown as you would like it for your gravy, you can put in stuff. Now, you could put in milk and water. You could put in all milk, or you could put in all water. Today I'm going to use milk and water. But the first thing I'm going to put in is the water. Now look how much I've got. That's a big old glass. So whoever eats this today is getting mainly flavor and water. All right, that's brown enough for me right there. You see that? Now gently pour it in and stir as you're doing it. All right, I've got about a third of a glass left. All right, let me do the rest of it. We're going to let it come to a hard boil. And while they're doing that, let me get out my milk. Okay, let me run and get it. All right, this is what, when I'm talking to y'all and I'm talking about whole milk, I always say sweet milk. And the reason I do that is because I was raised in Alabama, and we call it sweet milk in Alabama. It's not buttermilk, it's sweet milk. So when you're doing your grocery list to go to the grocery store, you either say sweet milk or buttermilk, whichever one you want. And your husband's going to know what that's talking about. And you're saying, your husband? I'm saying, yeah, I used to send George to the grocery store all the time. I mean, he would go to that grocery store. He loved to buy groceries. As a matter of fact, his mama, she always sent him to buy groceries. Now, let's say your gravy's too thin. Well, what you've got to do is cook it down to where you want it. You can't add more flour, y'all. So if you want to start out with 4 whole tablespoons, you know, a heaping, then do that, because you cannot add more flour. It'll knot up. Now, you can mix some flour in some water in a coffee cup and get it real, you know, mixed up good and no lumps, and then pour it in. I've got it on high, and it's getting thicker, and I'm going to put in a little milk. Now, I don't want much, just a little bit. 1/2, another half. That's it. That's a cup of milk. Y'all say, how do you know? Well, because I've done it for 50-something years, or 60. Let's see, I'm 77 years old, so I started cooking when I was probably, I don't know, 8, 7, something like that. Mom would have me in that kitchen. We did everything together, Mama and me. All right, so now it's time for your salt. According to what kind of meat you use, that's how much salt you're going to have. In other words, if I had fried fatback, that's real salty, so I probably wouldn't need much. But this is bacon, so I probably need some. So we'll put a little salt. You can always taste it later. Don't over salt. You can always go back and put some more. And here's pepper. And I do like a good bit of pepper in mine. As you can see. I'm going to stir that up. All right, now I'm going to taste it. And in the meantime, I'm going to take this bowl right here. Let me start my stove going to 400 degrees, because that's what I'm going to cook my sausage on. And I'm going to put this bowl in here in the oven to get it piping hot, so that when I do pour my gravy in it, it's not going to get cold. But I'm going to sit it on this back eye over here. All right, now I'm going to taste it. And I'm going to let it cook down a little bit while my bowl's heating up. And why am I tasting it? To see if it's got enough salt and pepper. This is, you call this brown gravy. If you make milk gravy, a lot of times I make milk gravy with chicken. I don't put any water. I just put all milk. But when I'm making it for biscuits, a lot of times like this, I'll use water and milk. Let me stir my grits before I do that. They're trying to stick on me. I've got the grits in there, and I've got one whole stick of butter in there. And I'm letting them boil and thicken up and cook. You've got to keep it stirred or it will stick. And that's why I've got this spatula in there. This one's a really hard spatula. It's something you can scrape with. See how I've got it upside down? I'm not doing it this way, y'all. Turn it upside down if you're in the scraping mode. I think back on the times now when Mama fixed breakfast for us. And I think about, They never did talk financial stuff with us. They never did say anything to the kids about financial, like if they were having a hard time or anything like that. They never mentioned it because they didn't want us worrying about it. But I know that we probably at times were having a hard time, and the reason I know that is because I remember at Christmas time and stuff like that, Mother would make us stuff to go under the tree, like pajamas and a little dress or a blouse or something. And my grandmother would make doll clothes for my doll. Oh, they were so cute. I wish I had them all right now. I don't know what happened to them. All I've got is a little sweater that she crocheted for my baby doll. She measured my baby doll Thanksgiving. She measured her, my little baby doll. And then at Christmas time, I got doll clothes, and my granddaddy made me a little box to put a little wooden box to put them in. All right, let's taste it. It looks mighty good. Well, we're going to see, though. All right, so this is where your 5 senses comes in that God gave you, and half of you not even used it. You got to taste it. God, it's good. It doesn't need anything. It is fine. But if it had, I would have put some more pepper or some more salt in it, but it was just right. It's good. So I'm going to let this stay on here, and I'm going to turn it down real low, and when that bowl gets hot, I'm going to take this out. Take it out of there, and I'm going to put it in that bowl, put it back there on that back eye. Pottery holds heat really good, and so that's a pottery bowl. It's an old bowl. Now, the grits I'm going to serve right in this boiler that I've got them in, because they're going to cook to the very last second. All right. I'm going to let you go. And I'm assuming that you're making biscuits. So this is some gravy to go on it. Makes it so good. You open your biscuit up like that and put the gravy all over it. I've had a few people to come in from to the Cottle house, and they just sit their biscuit on their plate, and then they start putting gravy on top of the biscuit. And I know right then they're not from South Alabama. I said, "Oh, y'all aren't from South Alabama, are you?" Because in South Alabama, we split ours open and put the gravy all on that. And the jelly, we do the same thing. We split it open, then put the butter on it, and then put the other. I got to go, y'all. I got a zillion things I got to do today. And I'm not even going to make a video other than this one, because I don't have time. My grits are getting a little bit thick. So and they're not done. See here? And I'm going to put a little milk in them after a while at the very last. I can't put it now because it'll scorch. I got to put water till the end. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Wear a smile. Comb your hair and put your little makeup on, ladies. And you men, it's okay for you to tell your wife what my daddy always told my mama. Are you going to paint your lips today? Love you. Bye-bye.